viewers, I'm Oma from O.D.A. TV. Join me as I give you today's top news headlines.
One last test of a rocket that aims to take the first humans in 50 years back around the moon.
We are artists.
So get ready to see these faces everywhere.
We're just so ready to fulfill the mission that we came here to do.
Pictured here in rehearsals, the astronauts will say goodbye to their families to go into quarantine as they prepare to travel the furthest into space humans have ever been. Last moon landing was in 1972. Few suspected that these would be the last human feet on the lunar surface for 5 decades. But space exploration fell out of fashion politically and financially until in 2017, President Donald Trump announced America was going back. The launch is a major test of America's burning ambition to beat China in the new space race. And if this mission succeeds, America will pull into first place.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies.
In your view, what message does this ruling from the Supreme Court today send?
Well, the Supreme Court has said that even Donald Trump has to abide by the law. You know, the majority opinion here is not very fancy. It's no surprise to anybody who's listened to the arguments. It's no surprise to anybody who's read the law.
So you think that they should refund that $140 billion?
I'm sorry, when somebody takes money from you illegally, that's called stealing in the United States. And the first rule is you got to give the money back. That money was not legally taken from the American people. It was stolen by Donald Trump. And make no mistake that it has been the American consumer is the one that has paid. The studies show over 90% of the costs of these tariffs have been borne by American families. Well, it's time for American families to get their money back, and it's up to the Trump administration to make that happen.
Well, we heard from one of the top officials in the Trump administration on this. That's the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. Here's what he said about this.
Well, it's going to be a food fight going after $175 billion, isn't it? So
I got a feeling the American people won't see it.
So now what?
Yeah. Did you see his smirk? It is the job of the Secretary of the Treasury to put in place a way for the American people to get the money that was illegally taken from them.
Mucha gente quedó atrapada, otra gente que venía atrás de un bus empezó a escapar por los vidrios. Yo me cubrí con una barra New Jersey. Bueno, como pueden ver, el vehículo quedó calcinado.
Un camión transportaba gas líquido, ya por causas que se están investigando. Este conductor pierde el control del camión, colisiona, choca con las barreras de contención y vuelca. A raíz de eso y del producto inflamable que él, ¿no es cierto?, transportaba, se produce una explosión.
Been arrested at a Las Vegas airport after she allegedly abandoned her 2-year-old dog at a ticket counter, police said. When told that she did not have the proper paperwork to bring the dog on the flight, she tied the leash to a ticket counter and headed to the departure gate, where police confronted her.
No, what we're going to do is we're going to walk you back to where your dog's at, and then we're going to issue a citation. because you left your dog at the ticket counter.
When asked why she abandoned the dog, she stated the airline would not allow her to fly with it and claimed the dog had a tracking device, implying that it was acceptable to leave the animal behind and it would return to her. Las Vegas police said in a statement. She was booked on charges of animal abandonment and resisting arrest. The dog, nicknamed JetBlue by authorities, was placed in Animal Protective Services for 10 days. The woman was offered a chance to retrieve her dog, but she did not. So JetBlue has been placed into foster care and is currently looking for a forever home.
At approximately 10 a.m., Boulder City Police Dispatch received a 911 call reporting a vehicle crashed through a secured gate at the power substation. The caller indicated that the driver appeared deceased and that gunshots had been heard after the crash. Boulder City police officers immediately responded to the scene. The driver of this vehicle is identified as 23-year-old Dawson Maloney of Albany, New York. See the vehicle approach. Now the second video you'll watch from the right, you'll see the vehicle crash right through the gate into the power facility. The search from the rental vehicle revealed 2 shotguns, an AR-style pistol, numerous loaded AR magazines with .223 ammunition, a box of shotgun shells, 2 devices described as flamethrowers containing thermite material, a crowbar and a hatchet, and a cellular phone which is currently being forensically analyzed.
They had to clear the rubble from a collapsed building of this soccer field just to play. The Palestinian Football Association and local clubs removed the debris themselves and brought the field back into use to host friendly tournaments.
أكيد الأمل جزء أساسي من حياة الإنسان، يعني الواحد مجرد ما يشوف صورة الملعب ما بين كل الركام هذا وما بين كل الردم ترجع له النفس بترجع له الأمل إنه يرجع ينشط بالرياضة في قطاع غزة.
It's the first time in 2 years Palestinians have played here. Fans climb over broken, collapsed buildings just to get a better view of the game.
الملعب هذا كل ما يحيطه دمار، الملاعب كلها طبعا اتدمرت، لكن رغم هذا بنحاول انه نصنع إرادة بأقل القليل، أقل الموجود.
Since October 2023, more than 550 soccer players have been killed in the war, the majority by Israeli strikes, according to the Palestinian Football Association. The group says more than 130 facilities have been destroyed. 4 months into the ceasefire, the territory has seen almost no reconstruction. Most people are still living in makeshift tents without enough food or clean water. For the players on this pitch, getting back to the game is a way to bring a brief sense of normalcy back to Gaza.
الدمار لا يمنع المستقبل، فبناء المستقبل جاري وإن شاء الله هذه البطولة تكون فتحة لبطولات ثانية بإذن الله.
Are we not alone in the universe? Are aliens real? President Trump just posted on social media, quote, "Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs." President Trump posted that after President Obama, his predecessor, said this in an interview on Saturday.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Asked to later clarify that remark, President Obama said, quote, "Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there, but the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. And I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us." Really? So he tried to walk it back a bit, it looks. But President Trump was asked about that first answer on Air Force One.
Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Now look, the topic of aliens has been of fascination to the public as far back as the Old Testament and the prophet Ezekiel, who wrote that he saw, quote, an immense cloud with lightning flashing from it, a huge ball of fire glowing like bronze. Within the fire were what looked like 4 creatures vibrant with life. Each had the form of a human being, but each also had 4 faces and 4 wings. Ezekiel saw the wheel, is how that is commonly known. But a lot of the renewed interest in this topic has to do with a new documentary called The Age of Disclosure, in which a lot of government officials and government scientists talked pretty candidly, including then Chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, current Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So the truth is out there, as they used to say on the X-Files. Will we soon learn it?
Iran is preparing for war. It's been repairing and fortifying these key nuclear and missile sites. Satellite images that CNN's investigative team have been analysing give key clues about how Iran is readying itself. US and Iranian negotiators held indirect talks this week, but that did not lead to a clear resolution. And all this is coming as the US is carrying out a massive military build-up in the Middle East, which is leaving open the possibility of an attack on Iran. And it seems like Iran is taking precautions for that. It's been rebuilding and fortifying some key sites. Look at this. These are tunnels at a complex known as Pickaxe Mountain. It's close to the Natanz nuclear facility, which was struck by the US and Israel back in June. And you can see there's fresh concrete, a cement mixer, rock and soil. All of that could help shield the facility from potential airstrikes. At another site, you can see here this industrial complex linked to producing parts for uranium enrichment. We can see damaged buildings and craters in July last year. Now these buildings appear to be rebuilt, and there's even a new building there. And here, a missile site also shows signs of reconstruction. What just some of these images tell us is how quickly the Iranian authorities have moved to rebuild some of these key sites and how they're preparing to do that again. Experts also say that these images, along with, wartime preparations and naval exercises, is the Iranian authorities essentially sending a very clear message to the US that any war would be very costly. Obviously, there's also a very clear concern from the Iranian authorities that any war could trigger regime change, and so the regime has been intensifying its crackdown on dissent. Last month, security forces brutally suppressed nationwide protests, killing and arresting thousands of civilians.
They planned this backcountry ski trip for months. Now, 6 close friends have been identified among those killed in a devastating avalanche in California. CNN has obtained photos of 4 of them. Carrie Atkin, Kate Vitt, Danielle Keatley, Kate Morse, Caroline Secar, and Liz Claybor were named by their families after the avalanche tore through a remote stretch of the Sierra Nevada mountains near Lake Tahoe. They were part of a group of 15, including 4 guides who'd embarked on a 3-day backcountry expedition over President's Day weekend. They were heading back to the trailhead when a massive slide of snow swept down the mountain. 9 people have died or are presumed dead, making it the deadliest avalanche in the US in 45 years. In a statement, families described the women as passionate, experienced skiers who loved being in the mountains together. Several were mothers, 2 were sisters. 6 others survived. Some waited for hours in whiteout conditions, using emergency beacons and SOS signals to reach rescuers. Recovery crews are still battling heavy snow, high winds, and steep, dangerous terrain. Officials say they're waiting for safer conditions before they can bring the victims' bodies.
What the did I just walk into?
Recently released body camera footage shows the moment police uncovered an alleged hazing incident at the University of Iowa in November 2024.
This is a police department. This stops here. Who's in charge?
They're upstairs.
According to a university statement, police and firefighters responded to a fire alarm at the Alpha Delta Phi fraternity house. The videos captured by campus police show dozens of shirtless pledges, some blindfolded, standing in a dark basement.
Is anyone here that is against their will?
Is there anyone with any sort of physical injury? No. What's all over you guys?
Just water.
Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on? Anyone? Because you got to see it from my perspective. What the did I just walk into?
Celebration.
Nobody? Celebration of what?
Of life.
Okay, sweet.
The university says campus police and the Office of Student Accountability investigated the incident. Alpha Delta Phi was suspended in February 2025 for hazing, according to the university's website, and won't be back on campus until at least July 2029. In a statement to CNN, affiliate KGAN, the national fraternity said anyone responsible has been removed from membership and the chapter received anti-hazing.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.